Alright, so this video is about religion. And this is why sort of like an atheist or whatever. I'm a non-believer. Some people might even say I'm like the Antichrist. But I'm not Antichrist. I'm not anti-God. Like, I just, I met this old man and shit that told me about God. And he kind of like said, I don't believe in that bullshit. And I just kind of adopted his way of thinking because that guy seemed really positive most of the time. So, I used to believe in that stuff a long time ago, but the reason why people like me exist is because I prayed to God to make things work for me in life, and it didn't work out. I did that relentlessly, and it never worked out, it seemed like. I prayed for, my parents not to get divorced. I prayed for women to stay in my life. I prayed for my family members to stay in contact with me, and it always just kind of didn't work out. But I talk to people sometimes, talk to strangers sometimes, and they talk about God and heaven, and if heaven's real, then why wouldn't you believe in it or something like that? So you can go there, and it just, the thing is that like when I date women, sometimes I date Christian women, and when they find out that I'm, when they meet me and they talk to me and they talk about like what I believe in, they don't want to be involved with me because I don't believe in God, because we don't have that in common, and I think that's a big hang up, and I think that's why a lot of people like me exist, is because we start to resent God, because the women that we want to date that believe in Christianity and God and all that stuff, like, they don't want to date us if we don't believe in it. And I think it's kind of stupid, because it'd be like saying, like, if she plays tennis and I don't play tennis, and I'm like, oh, I don't like tennis, it's stupid, it's not my thing. And she's like, well, if you don't believe in tennis, then we can't make it work, Like, I can't be with you if you don't believe in tennis. You don't play tennis, I can't play tennis with you, and it's not going to work. And they get all rash and harsh and just judgment. It's like, you can say that about anything. Like, if you don't believe in Republicans, and like, I'm a Democrat, so if you don't believe in Democrats, and or whatever, like, if you don't like spaghetti, then like, I don't like spaghetti, I like spaghetti, you don't like spaghetti, then we can't make it work. Like, to me, it's like, once you stop, I stopped believing in God when I got divorced. I stopped believing in God when I knew my marriage was over. I stopped believing in God, because I was like, okay, well, if God is real, then my marriage wouldn't be failing, and I wouldn't be getting divorced. And so after I stopped believing in God, then I immediately started not believing in marriage, and then I got divorced. So going from there and trying to like move on with your life and meet other people, it's just another excuse not to like God, because now God is not only ruining my marriage and ruining my life and making me like, trying to make me miserable. I'm trying to be happy, actually. I'm pretty happy sometimes. But now it's also destroying all my future relationships as well. And because, like I said, we don't have that religion thing in common. So people say, like, why are you atheist? Like, we don't understand. Like, God is awesome. Like, God does everything. And it's like, God does shit. God is shit to me, okay? In my eyes, God does fucking jack shit for me. He fucking ruined everything. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, he didn't even just ruin, like, the last 10 years. He's gonna ruin, like, the next fucking 30 or 40 years probably for me. Because civilization has, like, convinced people, like, millions of people, to believe in Christianity, to believe in this book that was wrote by a human being, not by God. God didn't write the Bible. It was written by humans that got around in a group and sat around and wanted to figure out how to control people, so they invented this thing called religion. And there's lots of religions. And even I've met women that were like divorced and had, they're single mothers and all this stuff. And they sleep with guys like me that are also, they commit adultery with guys like me. I've slept with dozens of them, and they claim to be Christian and all this stuff. And it's like, you're committing the same sins I'm committing. The only thing is, I don't see it as sin. I just see it as moving on, moving forward through life. They see it as going backwards. They see it as sin. They see it as like some really bad thing, and it's just so yeah, that's why guys like me exist. And people say we're evil and all this, but I'm not evil. I just, if my marriage isn't working out and I'm not happy, and the person that I'm married to isn't happy, and I get a divorce, that just makes sense to me. I'm fixing a problem. I'm not saying I'm giving up on, like, seeing my kid, or, like, giving up on my relationship. Like, I'm still gonna be friends with that chick, but, like, we're getting demoted a little bit, like, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to make sense with it, man, and move on with my life. And God didn't fix anything, But actually, me believing in God in the first place is probably a mistake. But everybody else thinks it's the answer. Well, all the women I want to date seem like it's the answer, and it just, you don't know how many relationships I've had that ended because of religion. So there's people like me, just to finish my point, there's people like me that exist that don't believe in God because God not only didn't save their lives, didn't save their childhoods from being tortured, but they're also not helping them in the future when they moved on, when they're like, can I just zero out? Can I just go back to zero? And can I just start thinking for myself for once? And can I just form new relationships and try to be happy? And God is still holding me back. So I don't think God, I think for some people, the idea of religion, I think it propels people, but I think for other people, it actually holds them back, holds them way back. And it's not because they believe in it, it's because they don't believe in it. And other people do. So I think religion is a very controversial topic, just like politics. But I think it should be more like politics, because in politics, at least you say, hey, I'm Democrat, you're Republican, but, like, can we still go get coffee? But in relationships, it's like, hey, you believe in God? And I'm like, yeah, I don't. Or they're like, oh, I can't have coffee with you. And I just think that's retarded, because there's no proof that God even exists anyways.